Hey everybody, it is Kit here. Happy Wednesday, and welcome back to the Sims 4 Brooks Legacy. We are with Blaze, and today is a very special day indeed. So, yeah, might be a bit of a longer one as well. Probably not as long as his sister's was yesterday, but I'm just gonna make a longer one to get to a certain point, and I'm gonna be happy. So buckle in. I hope y'all enjoy it, and let's get into it. Over in Oasis Springs, one night Panda is on his computer chatting with Oscar over in Willow Creek. Blaze, stop slamming your fingers on your poor keyboard. It's a sturdy keyboard, Blake. That's what you think. But have you seen it lately? The poor thing smokes and cries when you aren't around. Blake shook her head as Panda only hummed in response, giving his cousin date night suggestions. Are you even listening to me, Brooks? Blake Howard could be seen as demanding, but Blaze knew she was just a big softy underneath. So he just rolled his eyes and went, definitely. OMW. A ding interrupted his thoughts as his email alerted him to a spam email from a user he didn't recognize. But still, he looked at it, and his eyes nearly popped out of his skull. What's up, Blaze? Blake looked over during her cool-down run. Uh, um, I got an email. His heart was hammering in his chest as he quickly read over the novel of words, all of them blurring together in happy tears. It's from Marin, my sister. Oh shit. No way? She finally messaged? She's alive and good, healthy and all that? Blake was incredulous, asking Blaze more and more questions that he was struggling to answer. Yeah. I think so. She sent a big message. His stomach flip-flopped between concern and the sheer relief swallowed up by the happiness coursing throughout his entire system. There was a lot there. Lots of soul-shattering emotions and heartfelt sorries and some self-hatred he definitely didn't like to see. Guilt as well. But underneath, it was his sister. He could feel it. And she had left him a phone number and all of her contact information. He could hardly believe it. How big? Did she explain why she left? Where is she? It's fairly big, he said, rereading it again and again. He'd have to really read it proper later when no one was around. And, a bit. Sounds like she's in, Sulani? Where's that? An off-grid beach place for richy rich folks. My neighbor's grandparents retired there way back when. Blake grumbled good-naturedly, finally getting off the treadmill. Why aren't you typing back yet? You said she left contact info? Give her a call or send a message. Come on, Brooks. Chop chop. Blaze spluttered. I will, but I don't know what to say. Word vomit now, before I do it for you, dummy. With Blake hounding at him over his shoulders, he typed out a garbled mess of words that mostly repeated themselves, and I'm so happy you're alive, and don't feel too sorry, I'm sorry, we're all sorry. Can I call you soon or text you? Is it okay to send pictures? What's Sulani like? OMG, you're alive. Where have you been? But he hit send all the same. Nerves clawing up his throat as Blake grinned ear to ear. You definitely better stick to space shit. You don't have your mama's propensity for words. Wow, it might have sounded better if somebody hadn't been hanging onto my shoulders the entire time. Oh, shut it, Brooks, she said, clapping him on the back happily. I'm just glad she reached out. Good night. Yeah, me too. Good night. And while the others slept, Blaze spent his night rereading every single word she had sent, committing all of them to memory, then researching everything he could about Sulani. Marin didn't message back until much later, but that was all right. Marin was talking to him. She was alive. But while Marin was the biggest highlight of Blaze's week, heck, his month, she wasn't the only one. Olivia had come back to town and asked him on a bit of a date to the Mexican restaurant in Oasis Springs. Despite his exhaustion, he happily accepted. They spent a few minutes catching up, and Blaz did the proper gentlemanly thing of asking her about herself before he asked the questions he really wanted to ask. Because hadn't she said she lived in Sulani too? He hadn't super duper paid attention to the where as much as the who. And Olivia was really pretty. So Blaz asked away and found out she was around his age, coming to Oasis Springs for weekend getaways. She enjoys the area. She was in between jobs at the moment, didn't plan on attending university, and had a big social media following. She loved to swim, and Sulani is the best place to swim, was all she had said on that topic. She was not part of any school swim teams when she was in high school. She was kind of a mystery, but Blaz liked her. So, what's Sulani like? Blaz tried not to sound too eager. He didn't want this to turn into an interrogation. It was supposed to be a date. But he couldn't help it. His online research hadn't turned up much real stuff that didn't seem touristy fake. Olivia smiled dreamily. Oh, it's beautiful. There's pristine beaches, the waters are always warm, the coral is vibrant, and we have a volcano and a waterfall too. There's plenty of tourist attractions as well. You should come for a visit sometime. Wow, it sounds nice. But then the question he really wanted to know just popped out. Do you know someone named Erin? She's a little bit older than us. Black hair, green eyes. Been there for about a year. Olivia's smile lessened, and Blaz could tell she was uncomfortable. Um, maybe, but I don't really want to. Um, she's a local, Blaz. Their stories are theirs, you know? He kicked himself mentally. Sorry. Right, yeah, I'm sorry. It's just someone I used to know. Kinda. He lied. He changed topics, but the date vibe was just off after that, and it was his fault. After that awkward, lukewarm date, Blaz left, saying a brief hello to his aunt and uncle, who were there for a date themselves. He thought about sharing the great news, but immediately felt like he shouldn't. If anybody should know first, it should be his parents. But even that didn't feel right. With what Marin shared, with what she'd been through. He needed to think on this. They had to do this right. He didn't want her to be uncomfortable or for things to go bad with the family. Later that week, Andy, Oscar, and Kaysen invited Blaz out to the romance festival for a bit of a different vibe. And Blaz called Olivia, inviting her out to the festival as a way to make it up to her. Blaz had told his family all about the bathroom girl and had fibbed about the somewhat lukewarm date, so pretty much everybody except Kaysen had been giving him tips and tricks on how to make it up to her. As for Kaysen, yeah, he was out of it, and everybody noticed. Where you going, son? Panda's bathroom girlfriend should be here any minute. Andy chuckled, watching his oldest get up with stars in his eyes. She's not my girlfriend, Panda interjected, rolling his eyes. I'll be quick, just popping off to the restroom, Kaysen said somewhat shakily, heading into the bathroom stalls without a further moment's notice. What's wrong with him, do you think? Andy said very quietly after a moment. Blaz shrugged, uncomfortable. He had his suspicions. So did Oscar, but neither of them felt like they could do anything. Food poisoning, maybe? Oh, there she is. Wish me luck. Panda pointed at the beautiful brunette in a scantily clad bikini outfit meant more for a beach than a city festival. Ooh, she's pretty. Good luck, and don't forget what I told you, Andy Whisper shouted, laughing and giving his nephew a thumbs up. Panda grinned and headed on over to Olivia. Hey, you, Blaze grinned, surprising her with fresh flower petals cascading down on her. Oh, hey, Blaze, she gushed, seeing the petals in awe. This place is incredible. Yeah, it's not too bad, right? Told you I'd make it up to you. Can I grab you a security? Maybe a ramen? Whatever you want, it's on me. Oh, well, in that case, she smiled, making his nerves flutter. I'll take one of both. Nearby, a very odd Kaysen grabbed his little brother in for a hug. What the hell, Kaysen? Are you drunk? Oscar hissed. Shut up. No, I'm not. That's Kaysen's Blaze's Panda's bathroom girl. Just letting you know, seeing as you were late and all. Oscar scowled. I'm not blind. I can see he's flirting, genius. Yes, I am a genius. No, you are drunk. Or high? Oh, don't start that, Oscar. This devolved into a bit of a sibling squabble as Blaze worked very hard to get back into Olivia's good graces. And, get back into them did he ever, or rather, into Olivia's warm, comforting arms. Oh my. One panda might just be in love. Or overdosed on security. Either way, Oscar was quietly egging him on. Panda's thoughts were in hyperdrive. She was kissing his neck. Wow. What was he supposed to do? Wasn't he supposed to go get her ramen or a tea? No. He felt like he needed to sit just right here. He could mess this up and going and getting those for her. Not right now. And then the moment felt right. Panda has never kissed a single soul. But, yeah, the world did kind of pause for a solid minute as he pressed his lips to her plump, sweet-tasting lips. It was a wonderful kiss. Then, when they drew back from each other, his eyes searching her face for any sign of disgust or discontent, Blaze only found warmth and happiness. Olivia smiled up at him softly, biting her lips, covered in mussed-up lip gloss. This was fantastic, Blaze. I had a really nice time. She winked, backing up a few feet. Now, this is going to be so rude, but I have a loading screen to catch. Call me later, maybe? He couldn't help but watch her go. Oscar whistled loudly, hooting and hollering for his cousin. From the background, of course. Nice, Panda. Blaze blushed, turning to say something to his cousin, only to find Blake standing right behind him. Oh, hey. But before he could get another syllable out, Blake just moved in with a determined look on her face, planting her lips to his, and another first kiss that had him speechless for the second or third time that night. Oscar choked, wolf whistling now amidst laughter. Holy snickerdoodles! Jason, are you seeing this? Blaze was still absolutely speechless when the kiss was finally ended, wordlessly mouthing, "Wow," as Blake looked at him with something of a tender look on her face. What was that about, Blake? A kiss. Panda. Nice to see the other B name in your platoon, Panda. Real nice. Oscar couldn't help but continue to chuckle, completely blown away by what he had just witnessed. Did he just see his cousin get one girl, only to get rizzled and caught by another girl? And both were super pretty in two very different ways, and both digging his cousin very clearly. Is that what he just saw? Panda, tell your cousin to shut up, she whispered into his ear, feeling him splutter wordlessly. Shut up, Oscar, Blaze said, smiling in spite of himself. He waited until his cousin finally moved away before looking at Blake, the blush on her face completely out of character. Where did, where did this all come from? Like, is it real? You, uh, like me? But this isn't some joke or a prank or... She scowled slightly, shoving his shoulder. No, it's not a prank. I wouldn't do that. Whoopee cushion? Maybe. Stink shampoo? Maybe. A toilet bomb? Definitely. But this? Yeah, nah, this is way beyond me. But if, but if you've never shown or even said anything like... What? He felt so dumb in this moment, completely blown away. She sighed. All right, fine. Make fun all you want, but it's probably the stupid tea or the petals. But when I saw you with the other girl, bathroom girl, really, dude, you could do a lot better, you know. Ugh. I don't know what came over me. Anyways, you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. What you gonna do about it, Brooks? Blake Howard was blushing. She was a bit embarrassed. Okay, a lot embarrassed. She didn't know how to say it, and it was bad timing, obviously. But even though it was frenzied, it felt right. Well, Blaze thought about it. He and Olivia weren't an item. They hadn't even talked about it. Neither were he and Blake. Everybody was single. And who was to say he'd ever see Olivia again? But Blake was his bunk mate, technically. Dorm mate, really. She was part of his program. He knew her. They'd be around each other quite a bit. So if this flopped, that would be really bad, but if it went well, they were both wanting to go to space. It might be nice. And he was curious to see where this would end. I think I'll do this. Huzzah! He threw petals at her, and she immediately started belly aching and waving her arms around. Oh, hell no, Brooks. You cannot be a romantic softie. No, 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 no! She cried out. Ha 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 ha! Yes, I am! And you just kissed a romantic softie, Howard. What you gonna do, huh? No backsies! No backseat! You get back here, Brooks! Blaze took off running, laughing wildly at the petals going down her uniform. Howard tore off after him, and the night ended with a wild but merry goose chase. The following week was a blur of activity for Blaze. It would be his last real week of training for his program. He and Marin were talking. A lot. They hadn't shared the news with anybody in their family, but he was going to go stay with her for a week or two, then come back for university. He was so excited. It was a difficult decision to make, not telling his parents or cousins or aunt or uncle, but Marin had some surprises in store too, and it was just better to make a game plan in person. She was scared and not super comfortable just yet, which was understandable. He wanted her to be comfortable with him, and then eventually with everyone. Hence, the visit. As for him and Blake, the two Bs, as everybody called them, they were good. Not official, but Blake was showing a side of herself that Blaze had only seen little hints of. Blake surprised him with affection, here, there, everywhere, really. It was like a vault had been opened up. He definitely liked her, believe you me. He was just still so surprised. He was just the nerdy panda, you know? And Blake had seen him go from his worst to the best that he was now, but Blaze certainly wasn't a real jock or anything. He was just so surprised. And unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, their dorm mates knew all about them. But the instructors didn't think so. Watcher. Whew, they would have got some real heat for that one. Psst, you two buffoons, knock it off. Alston's coming up the way. Get a room. Jeez. Out of everybody, only Blake knew the real reason why Blaze was graduating from SSP early. She pulled him in for a hug the day he left. Be safe in the sands, you dork. She ruffled his hair affectionately. Don't let a shark get you. Bring me back a seashell, and let me know when you get there. A picture or two would be nice, too. Yes, ma'am. Blaze stuck his tongue out, wiggling his head around as she tried to grab it. Want a seashell for your collection? She flicked his nose, then kissed it. Yes, please. I will actually start a collection. Blaze considered asking her to come along, but the plans were already set, and it was the right time. Was it the right time for a solo trip like that? Plus, it was his first meeting with Marin after so long. It should be private. But next time, he could ask her next time. So he gave her one more hug, reveling in the fact that they were like this now. Good luck with your finals. I know you'll knock their socks off. Blaze pulled back. See you at university in a few weeks. She waved him off. Don't worry about me. Be safe, Brooks. And have fun. And, okay, so story time is technically over. But I had taken this picture to show people on like Twitter and stuff because I was so shocked. Like literally, I was having him do like the things with Olive, but then she had to leave. And Blake did that at all autonomously. And then like every interaction autonomous. I have literally had them do nothing at this point in the story that was romantically inclined. Now don't get me wrong, I thought it might be kind of cute if him or maybe Bailey kind of got together a little later on. But I really hadn't done much more than just like trying to make them all decent friends. He and Blake just got along fairly decently. Now this was just their bars. Like he and Olive are good friends, better than he and Blake, but like at that time, and this was like I think the day after, or it was after the romance festival. Like that much happened. It was insane. And to this day is still just one of my absolute oh my gosh moments in this game. But yes, so that is going to be it for today. I know this was super duper long, but I decided to fit everything in. We're gonna be. I feel like we're a tiny bit. What the hell was that? Oh, okay. I think I clicked the wrong thing. We might be a tiny bit out of sync with Marin, but that's okay. So yeah, it's probably gonna be a hot minute before we see Blaze again, but when we do, he is going to Solani. He's going to stay with his sister for a bit, and that's going to be super exciting. Yeah, this is a long time coming, and he's going to take full advantage before he runs off to college, as he should. Um, yeah, and he has two romantic relationships, interests, things at the moment, which is just wild. He barely knows how to handle one, let alone two, let alone Howard. Like he and her, they love to tease each other, they love to joke around, like that's their relationship, and now it's evolving into something else, but he's enjoying it, he's liking it. I mean, he likes Howard, don't get me wrong, he's just him with her. Like, he still sees himself as very much a nerd, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have a shot in hell if you think about, like, she's so out of his league. What would she see in him? But she likes him, and he's just like, wait, what? Wait, what? And, he's never really 100% thought about any of this stuff until very recently. I love this. I love this so much. I can't wait to get back to them, actually. They're so cute. One of my surprise moments of this game. I do have, a few here and there, but yeah. Anyway, so next week we might have one of the Brooks. I'm trying to decide, and if we do, it would be Andy, I think. Um, and but we are going to go with two other stories that I have been meaning to introduce and or kind of get back to, the other Save, the other Legacy, which I don't have as much on, but I'm going to introduce it, and we're going to get there, and it might make sense, it might not, for y'all, based on the context of the Brooks and Fractured Wonder. So yeah, I'm super excited for that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this long video. I swear they're not going to be this long anymore, because good lord, they take a little while to work on when they're this long. But I really just wanted to get this done for both Marin and for him, and I think it was good. So yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed them. But thank you all so very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and happy hump day! And don't forget, where the water's low, legacies grow. Bye!